Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you are all doing good. I was just scrolling through the social media pages and I came across a certain wrestler saying something about Michelle Obama, and it was like, Michelle Obama is... Hi! And what I heard broke my ears. Guys, let's get into the clips. I'll be coming back with more commentaries. And in case of any thoughts, kindly feel free to let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, stay tuned. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share the video.
Michelle Obama is
a graduate of Princeton and Harvard University, a record-breaking author, a two-time Grammy Award winner, lawyer with a career in the public and nonprofit sectors, an advocate for healthy families, service members and their families, higher education, international adolescent girls education, and so much more. Co-founder of a media production company which has produced award-winning and critically acclaimed content. The 44th First Lady of the United States, one of the most admired women in the world. What an icon.
Just so we're all clear, the reason these men make jokes about black women, specifically dark-skinned black women, being men, is because they want to encourage violence against black women. Because, see, when you attribute masculine qualities to a black woman, then other men feel like it's okay for them to attack and be violent, whether online or physically, towards black women. And that's always been the case. That is why they've always made these jokes about Michelle Obama, because they can't stand how beautiful she is and the fact that she's able to accomplish so much so gracefully. And the platform that he used to say this is not coincidental. It's not a coincidence that he said it on a platform after winning a sport that is very violent. And the last thing I'll say is that this is strategic. They know that Michelle Obama could potentially run for president and win 2 terms. And they don't want that. So they're starting early with the smear campaign. Even though she said she doesn't plan to run for president, they don't even want to take the chance because they already know that a woman who is qualified or as qualified as her running for president would run circles around them. And being a mediocre white man would no longer be okay.
Because let's be very clear, strong men, men who are truly role models, don't need to put down women to make themselves feel powerful. People who are truly strong lift others up. People who are truly powerful bring others together. And that is what we need in our next president.
So welcome back, everyone. Today we are talking about this debate that has been getting a lot of attention online, and it centers around Michelle Obama, one of the most recognizable former first ladies in modern American history, and a situation where a white woman challenged this wrestler who had publicly expressed negative opinions about Michelle Obama. So now, before we get deep into the discussion, let's just remember that people are entitled to their opinions, and public figures often receive both praise and criticism. However, what makes this story interesting is how passionately people reacted on both sides. Yes. You know, many supporters of Michelle Obama describe her as a role model, an inspiration, and a symbol of strength and dignity. We have seen in the clips. And during her years in the White House, she became known for advocating healthy lifestyles, education, and community involvement. Even after leaving public office, she has remained a highly influential figure with millions of supporters around the world. Because of that influence, many people feel protective of her reputation. So when criticism comes her way, especially from high-profile personalities, her supporters are often quick to respond. And in this particular situation, this white lady decides she had had enough after a wrestler made comments opposing or criticizing Michelle Obama. And instead of staying silent, she challenged those remarks and defended Michelle Obama publicly. Yes, and that exchange quickly became a topic of conversation online, with the social media users weighing in from every direction. What I find fascinating is how this story demonstrates the power of public figures to spark spark emotional reactions. For some people, Michelle Obama represents grace. She represents intelligence and perseverance. They see someone who carried herself with confidence while facing enormous public scrutiny. And to those supporters, criticism of her feels unfair or politically motivated. Others, however, argue that no public figure should be immune from criticism. They believe that disagreeing with a politician or former first lady is perfectly acceptable in a democracy. From their perspective, challenging powerful individuals is part of healthy public discourse. The real question becomes, where is the line between criticism and personal attacks? That's where many online debates tend to become complicated. Instead of discussing policies, accomplishments, or ideas, conversations often turn into emotional arguments. People start defending personalities rather than debating facts. Once that happens, it becomes harder to have meaningful discussions. And what stands out in this story is that the woman defending Michelle Obama was not simply expressing admiration. She actively pushed back against criticism. That tells us something important about today's social climate, that people are increasingly willing to speak out when they feel someone they respect is being treated unfairly. And let's be honest, Michelle Obama remains one of the most influential women in American public life. So whether people agree with her politics or not, few would deny that she had had a major impact on culture and society. Her books have sold millions of copies, her speeches attract huge audiences, and her opinions continue to generate headlines. That's why stories like this gain traction so quickly. So they aren't really just about one disagreement between two individuals. They reflect larger conversations about leadership, about respect, race, gender, and political identity. You know, many supporters reacted by praising the woman who defended Michelle Obama. They even argued online, even while I was perusing through the social media, that she showed courage by standing up for someone she admired. Others questioned whether the confrontation was necessary at all, suggesting that everyone has a right to their own viewpoint. Personally, I think the biggest takeaway is that public conversations have become incredibly polarized. People often feel pressured to choose a side immediately instead of listening to different perspectives. And the result is that disagreements can escalate very quickly. And at the same time, it's understandable why Michelle Obama's supporters would want to defend her. And they see someone who broke barriers, inspired young people, and represented a positive image for many women around the world. So to them, calling her a queen is not just praise, it's recognition of what they believe she accomplished. So whether you agree with that description or not, it's clear Michelle Obama continues to have a lasting influence years after leaving the White House. Few public figures can still generate this much discussion, support, and controversy. So what do you think? Was the woman right to challenge the wrestler's criticism? Do public figures deserve strong public defense from their supporters, or should everyone simply be allowed to express their opinions without confrontation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this reaction commentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another discussion. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of the video. This video is meant for educational purposes and commentary purposes as well. Thank you. See you in the next one.